straight off the back, just like we were talking about the big bad Tatarion McMillan's right here against old big bad dog Travis Hunter. Again, Travis Hunter is the #1 player for Colorado on offense and defense. Crazy thing to say, but as we see with Mr. PFF, or the wonderful people out there in PFF, we've got Travis Hunter #1 on the PFF big board for the NFL, which is pretty crazy. #2 on the PFF big board is Tatarion McMillan for there, I believe, for cornerback and wide receiver respectively. For Travis Hunter, he has allowed 0 touchdowns, a 44 passer rating allowed, and an 84.5 passing coverage rating. And Mr. McMillan's not too bad either. 739 receiving yards for them things and a 79.7 receiving yard. Let's hop into some of these totals and some stats and facts. Mr. In Fafifta, and I got a TikTok for you. I got Warren Sapp had a few choice words for him, so we can get after it. The Mr. 5'10", 180 gentleman himself, who does sling the ball, but that 8 touchdown to 9 interception ratio is probably not going to put himself in the best of places and spaces. But this Arizona team is a fun team. It's one that I had a lot higher expectations for, and I really thought that this game would be a very hard, big test for Colorado. I would assume Arizona would be, if not undefeated, a big towering team within the Big 12 as of now, just because of Fifta and because of McMillan. I think they're going to be great players, and I really think McMillan is a clear Sunday guy. Go watch the last Arizona-Colorado game and see that happen. That boy was going crazy. So to look at it, Shedeur Sanders is one of the top 5, I believe, leaders in passing yards at 2,000 yards as we are. We're only halfway in the season, ladies and gentlemen. 17 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Amazing ratio there, where Mr. Fifta is a 16.36 for 8 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. I believe Fifta can scoot a little bit too. Mr. Augustive, and I've talked about this in previous videos, man. If Colorado can run the ball and do it consistently, there's not a lot of teams in the Big 12 that can compete with them. Now, that's a lot to be said, okay? It's easy just to say, hey, Colorado's got to get over one of their biggest weak points as a complete team and be able to run the ball more. But I need them to just stick that thing in the guzzlet of a back and let him go get a few, okay? I last game, I think they only handed the ball off 20 total times, 10 or 20 total times. That's absurd. You're not going to win a game like that. I apologize. So the fact that the leading rusher has 127 yards and Arizona's leading rusher has 408 and 458 yards in 6 of them things, it's very telling of these different types of identities in offense there. Receiving yards, obviously Travis Hunter still leads in receiving yards for Colorado with 587 and 6 touchdowns. McMillan 742 and 4 of them things to not too shabby. Last 5 here. Again, Colorado loses a game in which they could have easily won. I think if they ran the ball and had more than negative 29 yards, yes, go look it up. They had negative 29 rushing yards. If they had more than negative 29 rushing yards, I think they would have been able to irk that game out. So I think that's got a sting for Colorado. But again, you handle business against UCF. You have a close one against Baylor, and you handle business against your rivals. They've been on the up and up here. These 2 losses, I think, don't define them. I think this loss woke them up, and I think this loss is going to be an extra wake up for this team. We've seen the way that they like to respond after losses. Let's see if that's a consistent thing. This is a 3-3 Arizona team that's kind of lost a lot of their hopes and wills when it comes to the outlook. But when we do look at their last 5 games, they've lost against some good teams. Look, they got dominated by KSU. They beat Utah. They lost against Texas Tech, who's shaping up to be a decent team within the Big 12. And then BYU spanks them, but BYU is one of the better teams in the Big 12, as you see them 3-0, 6-0 in conference. And Texas Tech is no slouches themselves. So I don't want that to be slighted. I don't want people just to look past that and say it is what it is because it's a 3-3, 1-2 team. This is a 3-3, 1-2 team with some talent in some places and spaces there. And let's take a peek at that. Let's go right to Arizona and look at their stats and look at their rankings. This is one of my favorite things to kind of take a peek at. Kind of go head for head. And when we look at this Arizona offense, their points per game is ranked number 63. So that's about the top mid part of the league. They're not too shabby there. Yards a game at 39, the top mid part of the league as well. Topper, more of the top. Points a game at 63. Yards of play at 34 in the league. Third down conversion at 42, at 43%. That is not too shabby, not too bad. Fourth down conversion 119. And red zone scoring, 91%, top 40 in the league. You love to see that from an offense being able to be potent when you get into the red area. When you go to the opponent's points per game for the defensive side for Arizona, we've got top 91, so right at the mid, bottom of the mid there. 78 when it it comes to opponents' yards a game, 94 opponents' points per game, number 80 when it comes to yards per play. Third down conversion, top 70. Again, top part of that mid, even more top mid. We can go to fourth down conversion for opponent red zone conversion, red zone scoring percentage. Number 53, I would like to see that number be higher. And if y'all don't know, it's 130 teams within the whole entire thing. If you're lost in these numbers, when I keep saying mid here and mid there and mid everywhere, going off into Colorado, we're going to switch back and forth. For points a game, they are number 43. Yards a game, they're number 66. Points of play, number 45. Yards of play, number 82. Their third down conversion is top 60 in the league. I think you need something better when you're dealing with a top 64 third down converting defense. This is one of my favorite matchups to look at the opponents, individuals third down conversions as well as the third down conversions from the defense. And this looks like a pretty even game when it comes down to the third down marker. And when you come to their third down conversions on the defensive side, they are in fact top 30. So Arizona's got a top 45. So okay, top 45 red zone off. Third down offense. These are some good matchups. These are two teams that I think when you look at their just strictly look at their what are they called? The numbers and whatnot. When you look at their records, when you just look at their records and look who they've lost to and how they've lost to, again, that embarrassing loss to K-State that Arizona has on their record, I don't think it tells the full picture. I think you can look at some of the stats and see this is a team that's going to be pretty comparable, and I think a team that either way, I think this is going to be a close game, and I think they can put some points on the board. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people who can stop McClellan. I don't know how to say his name, but he's a big bad dog. I think he's Polynesian. He be sucking balls. Sorry. He be catching balls. He be wrapping his hand firmly around balls while he's in the end zone. So I think he's going to get something done there. I think some points are going to be scored here. Continuing on and continuing forward, again, there are 133 technically teams in the FBS level. For the rushing statistics, I love going over this. Rushing statistics for Colorado, they are number 132. So one of the worst when it comes to how many times they run the ball. Okay, so how many opportunities they even give to run the ball. They are 131 in yards per rush, so basically efficiency. Rushes a game, number 128, again bottom of the league, and rushing yards a game, they're again at 130. They don't give the ball off. They don't run the ball efficiently. And again, they don't run the ball, period. They don't even want to run the ball. This is not a team that, they're trying and they have a bad rushing offense. They have bad running backs. No, this is a team that does not rush the ball. That's what it is. So it's a complete different thing. So if they continue to try to implement the run game, I think it's going to go very, very far away, or at least stop putting them in third and long situations in which you don't want to be in. Now, the Colorado defense, when it comes to rushing statistics, a decent, number 87th. Sorry, that's not important because that's just how many times they run against them. But opponents' yards, a rush is going to be 61. Opponents' yards, a rush, so attempt is going to be at 61. Opponents rushes a game at number 98. Opponents rush yards a game at number 80. They're going against an Arizona offense, a rushing offense that is number 45 in efficiency when you talk about yards per rush. By the way, they're also number 125 in how much they call the run game. This is not a running. This is a Pac-12 team, son. Look, I know we're in the Big 12. This is a Pac-12 offense. They're going to sling it around the yard, right? But hey, efficient though. This is the difference here. The stark difference between a team that only runs it 39%, right, and 36%, but only averages 2.4 and averages 4.8. Completely different. Again, still abysmal when it comes to their rushing yards a game. Their effectiveness at 122 rushes a game, and their rushing yards a game about the top bottom-ish. Bottom mid there when it comes to the score there. Opponent's yard rush play percentage, again 41, 102 when it comes to opponent's yard rush. So they allow people to run the ball decently. Opponent rush yards a game, number 77. So about mid. If you want to run the ball, I think this is not a bad defense seemingly to do it. They got about a mid defense there, nothing too crazy. And then coming into their passing offense, Lord have mercy, they got some numbers here, son. Top 10 in the nation when it comes to how much they call the pass. And I want just to immediately, because guess who's number? Yeah, that's what I say. Guess who's number 3? Yeah. Guess who's also top 10, top 5? I was gonna say at least top 5, but there you go. And this is absurd. I'm sorry. They're being number 3 in pass play. As much people like whatever. We can say that Shedeur throws the ball too much. We can say that. I can say that until I'm blue in the face. But what I can't say is that boy don't do it at the highest clip efficient-wise in the entire fucking nation. At 71% and also being one of the highest times being able to call a pass play. That is absurd. But we're here to talk about Arizona. I'm sorry. For them, number 10 when it comes to pass play percentage, 96 when it comes to completion percentage. Again, the more times you throw, the more you open yourself up to having some bad throws, and they seemingly do so there. Yards a pass, number 74. Passes a game, number 12. So that means something. Pass yards a game, though, they are top 20. And then interceptions thrown, 111. You don't want to see that. Quarterback sack percentage, number 8, though. So Colorado is going to behoove them to try to get after that quarterback. But if I am not mistaken, he can wiggle a little bit back there. So he might not be the heaviest, but he can get up and go. Arizona's defense, when it comes to this passing statistics, again, you're going against one of the most potent passing offenses in the nation. Opponents pass completion, number 18. Top 20 when it comes to their completion percentage. Yards a pass, number 49, top to the mid there. Opponents passes a game, not important. Pass yards a game, number 74, top to the mid. Opponents interception percentage, top 78. And sack percentage, number 99, which is extremely important when you're dealing with a Colorado rushing offense who gets sacked 121 ranked and sacked at 10%. So very important that you're not dealing with an elite, sack defense in Arizona if you're a Colorado fan. But continuing forward, like I said, number 3 when it comes to pass play percentage, number 6 when it comes to completion percentage, yards game number 44, passes a game number 12, pass yards a game at number 9, interceptions thrown 1.46 at number 23, quarterback sacked. We already talked about their defense does decently against the pass. I mean, they are at the top mid part of the league when it comes to opponents pass completion, opponents yards pass a game, pass yards thrown, interceptions number 42, sack percentage number 43. So they've been getting after the quarterback. If you've been watching these videos week by week, this is a number that's slowly but surely been creeping up, and they are starting to get after the quarterback at a better clip. I will say that their red zone defense is one of the best in the nation. I forgot to point that out, but I always point that out because people don't like pointing that out. But Colorado, and this is my theory about it, if you don't know, and the only reason why I'm taking the time to do this is because it's easy just to but to throw criticism at Colorado if you're not watching like the games. But if you're actually watching the game and watching the football, you will see that this defense is not bad. They just have holes. They're very high in some places when the Travis Hunters and the Bentleys of the world and it's those edge players. But then the other linebacker play can be the safety play can be sometimes the other quarterback play. It can be lacking sometimes, and that's really what it is. When they get into the red zone, it feels like Travis Hunter can just be so much more impactful, so much more instinctful, right? If he gets squashed in on that boundary, he can take that away. If he's one-on-one on an island in the field, he's got enough range and space to be able to take that away too. And then when you have a sure tackler, you've got a sure tackler in when it comes to Bentley and a few other people who are up and down when it comes to that Colorado defense. When you allow a Mike to scrape edge to edge like that with a condensed field, again, your big players and more impactful players can be more impactful. That's just how I feel, and that's how I see it when I see that. This defense isn't terrible. They just bend and break at terrible times, as you can see. But, I mean, great third down conversion, too. I would like to see them keep that up. Like I was talking about, their defense as well, pretty mid when it comes to interception ratios and sack, but a good mid, top of the mid there. Looking at all these stats, I do want to look at the totals here because I think McMillan is in the top 5 in receiving yards. If I'm not, yes, he's number 3. Okay, so he is number 3 in McMillan receiving yards. We're gonna take a look at these totals. Travis Hunter is still top 10 in receiving yards in the nation, and he's the number 1 quarterback in Colorado, as well as he missed basically most of the game last year. That's crazy. But Terrion McMillan, I'm never going to say his name correctly, is number 3 in the nation, averaging 17.7 with 4 touchdowns. So he's gonna be pretty potent himself. Let's keep that on lock. And then Mr. Shador, top 5 in the nation when it comes to passing yards. These boys are slinging it. Cam Ward with 2.219, Kyle McCord with 2.160. Kyle McCord also, I saw some stat that he was one of the leaders in big time throws. Him, Cam McCord, and Shador Sanders, and of course Jackson Dart being number 1. So great to see these guys go. If I have to if I have to predict this game, I want to say high scoring. I want to say way up there. Give me 48-56, but give me the goddamn Buffaloes. Every time I pick against the Buffaloes, they sadly lose, and every time I pick against them, they win. But I think this is the week they're going to take care of business against Arizona. I think that win kind of angers them a little bit. I think Arizona feels a little bit in purgatory right now when it comes to their resume, but don't doubt them. Don't count them out. They're a great team, an explosive team, and I think they're going to put up plenty of points against this Colorado defense. But y'all get at me in the comments. Let me know who's going to win this game. Let me know who's the biggest, the baddest, and the bettest. Who's the bestest and the westest between these two. Y'all give me your predictions. Like this video if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. Subscribe. Do all that fun stuff. Bells and all that. You'll be amazing.